You
All right.
just woken up from getting your asses handed to you?
I'm tired, and I fall asleep.
Who the fuck are you guys? What the fuck am I doing on this boat?
I'll open an eyebrow, point finger at Steph, and say, "You deal with this," and close my eyes again.
I ignore him.
And Poppy,
So,
once again, Poppy's in that fugue state, and again. So, I wonder if Poppy keeps a diary.
Can we pretend that I do for expediency purposes?
Why, yes, we can.
Alright, cool. Fugue state's passed. Well, relatively speaking.
And we will give you all an overnight rest. Okay, it is the next morning. And you're all feeling somewhat better. Poppy,
I'm still sleeping.
you've spent the majority of the night reading your diary to find out who you are, or who you thought you were. And um, there's a knock on your cabin door.
I answer it since apparently I'm the only one up yet.
Um, and it's Skywind. And she tells you that very shortly you will be docking in Dabril. And it's a village in Galt. And it's known for its rose fields and its production of perfumes and so forth. And she's going to meet with some friends there and arrange for additional supplies for the ship. She asked if you all wouldn't mind. She's got to take half her crew with her, and she asked if you all would stay behind and, guard the ship. Although Dabril is generally peaceful, it's still not wise to leave a ship unguarded.
Fine with me.
I'm just trying to sleep.
Oh, you're just so melancholy. I should have made it melodramatic.
So we're just hanging out on the ship while they go into town. Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the status of like our hit points? I mean, looking at the combat tracker, Poppy's still dead. Oh, there we go.
How's that?
And I was only mostly dead, but there you go.
You see dead people.
That's right. No, he's just sleeping.
Good one, good one, good one. And story. Okay, and I'm going to use the map of the ship just for convenience. About an hour after the boat comes into Dabril, and Skywind docks the boat and makes all the preparations, and her and a good portion of the crew head off to town, and let's see. And while she's here, she is going to talk to her friend about taking possession of the freed slaves that you have down below. And they head off to town, and, you know, she waves goodbye and knows that her ship will be in safe hands.
Damn foreshadowing.
It's gonna burn to the ground, isn't it? To the water line.
Maybe just a little.
Bring it on.
About an hour after Skywind's departed, you see this woman appear upon the docks, and she's hiding her appearance beneath a full-faced hood, and it's embroidered with this sternly glaring face. And you can see that she has a thick build, a short neck, and a piercing gaze evident even through the eye holes of her hood. And she looks pretty badass. And she comes over to the your ship and hollers at you all to get your attention.
I mean, I'm still in the cabin, just trying to sleep.
Is she hollering like in common?
Yes, she is hollering in common. You know, ahoy there. And she's like, is anyone aboard?
What if we are?
Can I do try a sense motive check to see if I get a feel for whether or not she means us harm? Or is that premature?
That's probably a little premature.
Okay.
And, hello, is anyone aboard? I wish to talk to you.
Is Poppy up there with me?
Probably.
So Poppy and I are on the deck watching this lady. How far away is she?
She's probably 15 feet away from the boat.
So she's right there.
Right.
And okay, this isn't like she's way down on the dock or something. Okay.
Yeah, she's on the dock, but, you know, she's within 15 foot of the boat.
So I'll be like, ho! No, that's it. I just wanted to say ho.
Hey ho!
I'll ask her what she wants.
I'm looking for someone, and I was wondering if you could help me.
Maybe. Who are you looking for?
Uh, she is looking for Senator Emilio Daldemain. Um, he's an accused traitor to the Revolutionary Council.
Name doesn't ring a bell, does it? I don't think so.
And, you know, I'm searching all ships that come through the area, and I would like to search yours.
I don't think that's possible at this time, but you may come back later and speak with the captain.
Where is your captain?
That is her own affair. She is not currently on the deck of the ship. You will have to come back later to speak with her.
And if anyone would like to throw a knowledge local check to see if they recognize the name of the senator, they can.
I think the only person who would have knowledge local is kind of depressed in a corner right now.
She's like, what are you hiding that you won't let me on board?
We're hiding nothing, but access to this ship is not mine to give.
Are you hiding the senator on board?
Not as far as you know.
Well, don't encourage her.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's really none of her business what is or is not on the ship. It's not my ship. We were asked to watch it. Like who would have thought that'd lead to something bad? Oh wait.
Um,
Do we know when the captain's going to be back, or just later?
yeah, it's just later. Uh, she's like, you know, I think I will just wait on the captain.
Go for it.
And she walks over and sits down on you know, some cargo that's sitting out on the deck, and for the next several hours she diligently watches everything that happens on board that ship.
Which is pretty much nothing.
Eric in the corner going, oh, woe is me.
That sounds like I'd have to care enough to say that kind of thing. What's the point?
Um, and sometime later, Skywin returns to the ship. And as she's approaching the ship, you know, this female from the Revolutionary Council stops her and, you know, are you the captain of this ship? And Skywin identifies herself, and you know, this lady's telling Skywin what she's looking for, and that, you know, that her crew acted very suspicious, and that you know, she would like to search the ship to clear the Selene Starling of any wrongdoing. And Skywin, talks to her for a minute, and the lady repeats that, they're searching for a disgraced senator and so forth. And Skywin agrees to let this woman on the ship.
I feel like this is going to go horribly wrong.
And
No, this is gonna go good.
Careful there, Sheer. You're starting to sound like me now.
She's gonna turn into a dragon and breathe on us.
and um, and this woman starts searching areas of the ship, and she goes into your all's cabin and sees Eric laying there asleep, and she kind of walks over and pokes you, Eric, where she can get a good look at your face.
What is it, huh? Who are you? Why are you bothering me?
And she takes a good hard look at you, and she just turns and walks away from you. And continues looking at anywhere someone could be hiding. And eventually she makes it out of Ural's cabin and the captain's quarters. And everyone's a little anxious when she walks over to your cargo hold full of slaves.
Right. Forgot about that.
She didn't ask if we had a buttload of slaves. She wanted to know if we had the senator.
And
the senator's one of the slaves. I
and
get a feeling.
during this time, as she's searching, she's interrogating everybody that she comes across about the senator, and everyone else is clueless, just like you. No one has any idea who he is, or has even heard of him, let alone hiding him. And Skywin walks over to where this woman is, and she's like, there's something that you should know about our cargo hold. And the lady goes, oh, really? And before Skywin can finish, she throws open the hatch to the cargo hold and looks down at all the slaves looking back up at her.
Refresh my memory. Where did the slaves come from
They
again?
were from Razmir, and we destroyed the pirates and freed the slaves. And are
Oh,
trying to get
that's
them
right.
to
That's
safety.
right. Okay. I'm like, it was in the back of my mind, but I was trying to remember where the
Hang
slaves
on a
came from.
second. Did one of the slaves give us the boots of speed? I think that might have been what it was.
Yes. It was. One of the slaves did give you the boots.
You should take the boots of speed and have that ready for when you're not hasted from me.
Okay.
Unless you have other boots you prefer.
Nope.
So she's kind of surprised to see all these slaves in the cargo hold. And, she kind of pulls her sword out and says, what is going on here? And Skywin quickly relates the story of, the pirate attack and, rescuing these slaves and so forth. And this lady appears to believe her, and she hollers down below deck for all these slaves to get up and get out of the hold, that she wants to see each and every one of them. And these slaves obediently start climbing out of the hold, and she's looking all of them over. And in the end, she pops down into the cargo hold and walks through it, giving it a real good look. And during this time, you notice some of the crew is starting to whisper back and forth about this woman who's on board their ship. And after a couple of minutes, she pops up out of the cargo hold, and she thanks Skywind for her thanks Skywood for her cooperation, and that you all are free to continue. And the lady hops over the side of the boat onto the dock and casually walks away.
What am I looking? Someone probably should have done this a long ass time ago.
I offered.
Don't offer. If you feel it needs to be done, just do.
Yes, Papa, you're fairly confident that she means to walk away from the boat. But
Is she walking away with anything that she should not be walking away with?
no, she is not. Once she was on board the boat and realized that most likely you all were not hiding the senator, her demeanor did soften just a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean going from hostile to semi-hostile.
Is that kind of like going from kind of pregnant to mostly pregnant?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Hey, when hormones are involved, it makes no sense at all. And, Steph, you and Poppy over here, by now, every crew member is talking about this woman. And one of them recognized her. This woman is known only as Glower. And she is she is one of the masked executioners of Galt.
Oh.
Yeah.
What weapon was she carrying?
You could tell that she was carrying a short sword.
Huh.
And a longbow. And is really badass. So, you know, Skywind is relieved that that went well, and she met with a couple of her friends here, and they have arranged to take, I hate to say it this way, but take possession of the slaves and get them to free territory. So you all will be in dock for a little longer, and hey, it's easier since all the slaves are now above board. And when they hear that they are one step closer to freedom, they're joyous, and they're all thanking you all for your help and so forth.
Right, hey, you mean they're thanking two of them, not all three, right?
That is correct. You're in your little
So
bunk.
Skywind does not seem to be concerned about the idea of having the slaves released here, about retribution from Razumir, or that this might not be such a great part of the country. Like, what does she seems comfortable with it?
Yes, because she was turning them over to friends of hers.
Okay. Oh, she's not turning it over to Glower and Company. Okay.
Right. Which had the Glower not believed your story. She could have acted and treated you all as slavers. And uh, when Skywind's body appears, naturally she talks about the Glower's um, attention, and he's mentioned that yeah, she's been in town and that she's looking from looking for the senator from Isarn, Isarn, that apparently did something traitorous and so forth, and she's been sent to execute him. And that, as far as any incoming ships or anywhere she thinks that the senator could be hiding, she has searched and interrogated people. And after that, her friend and his friends take the slaves off your hands, and pretty much you have a feeling that they will be treated decently. You don't think that they're going to be sold back into slavery or any harm's going to come to them. And after a while, Skywin pulls up anchor and sets sail.
So was this the final destination for us, or we still have more to go?
You still have more to go.
Okay, so we got a ways to go still. We're on the
Yes.
I'm looking at the map of the Selin Passage. Are we on there right now? I see an X and an R. Are we the R?
Uh, tu- 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 tu. Yeah, let's see. You are. Let me grab my map of the Selin Passage. Okay. You are somewhere roughly right in there.
Okay.
Nope, let's see, you're probably farther down. Probably right in there somewhere.
Sorry, what are we pointing to on the boat, or are we on a different map now?
Uh,
We're at the R now.
yeah, we're at the R.
Okay.
Okay, it is early evening. What would you all like to do?
Sleep.
We're just drifting down the river again, I see.
Yes, you are drifting down the river, and truly you can do that for a few days, or you can attempt to go back to the lunar prison.
Should we've got all that material that we've been doing research from, correct?
Yes.
Should we maybe spend a day or two looking through it and trying to do some more research on, see if we can find anything about, what was her name, Ophelius? And maybe, I don't know, I don't know if we could go back with just 3 of us and handle that encounter, so.
Out of character, we can. We just actually need you to have your bombs, so you can actually contribute.
Right. So that's fine. I mean, if you guys want to go back, that's fine. We can do that. But just yeah, whatever.
Yeah, doing the research will do you no good whatsoever.
Okay, I guess we're not going to do that then.
Because it's all the books on the research that you have all deal with the mad poet and getting his quest. Uh, Unfortunately, they're not gonna cover a dragon with a blood fetish.
Ah, okay. I'll be right back. I gotta go turn on an oven.
That sounds good. So, do you want to continue down the river for a couple of days, or go back to the moon? They could just throw you overboard. You wouldn't.
Easier than going on living.
And just as a reminder, the madness does not affect you in the dreamlands.
Indeed.
Ooh, that'd be horrible for Poppy. One minute you know everything about who you are, and the next minute you know nothing. Okay, so downriver or the dreamlands?
If we're going to the Dreamlands, I'd like to check my spell selection. Just a sec here.
Probably a smart move. And I'm gonna go.
I would vote Dreamland.
I'm gonna go AFK here for a second while he does that.
So, do you guys want? Which ones do you want me to make? Because I can give to you as potions. Like I've got blurred movement,
Not really helpful.
enlarged person, shield, and true strike.
Problem with True Strike is it's like only for one attack. That's not actually that good. Level 1, I mean, shield at level 1 isn't bad, just preemptively doing it, and like it's good for you as well, especially when we go back there. Like, what's your AC unbuffed right now?
18.
Really? That's it?
That's it.
What's your dex?
Dex is 17.
What have your level up points gone into?
My intelligence is what I use for spells. That's 18. I don't remember what I started at though. I mean, I'm an elf, so intelligence and dex both got a +2 for that.
I thought you were half elf. You're an actual elf?
I'm a full elf.
What's your constitution at? 12? And
12.
favorite class bonus, 1 hit point per level?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And then what armor do you have? Mithril chain shirt?
Let me check. I think so. Yes, mithril chain shirt.
So I really would have gotten your dex up to 18 at least at this point. Should have realistically, I assume your dex started it at 17 at a minimum.
I don't remember anymore.
Okay, so you have 4 from the mithril chain shirt. You have like a chain shirt +1 and then like a ring of protection or something?
No, I do not believe I have a miscellaneous +1 on my armor class. I'm not sure where that came from.
Do you have an ion stone that gives 1 AC or something?
Yes, I believe I do.
What ion stone is that?
I have scarlet and blue.
Scarlet and blue claims to be an intelligence bonus.
Yeah, there it is. Effect +2 enhancement, bonus to intelligence.
Okay, boy, we may be really screwed up here. What were your stats level 1?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't have that written down.
Well, I would really try to figure it out because you may have screwed up something for quite a while now.
Well, I remember like 5th level. You're like,
do
hey,
you remember what your intelligence started at?
Well, I've only gotten 2 points since 1st level, right? So yes. I'm assuming my intelligence was 16.
But you're not sure.
No, I don't know. I remember my scores were too high, so we adjusted them down. And now I don't know where the hell. I mean, I'd go through and figure it out again, but
what's your wisdom, charisma, and strength?
Wisdom is 12, charisma is 10, and strength is 13. So I had to have put at least 1 point into strength.
I think what you
Not
did is you
two,
start.
I
I
don't
think
know.
here's what you started with. After ability score adjustment, I think you started with 13 strength, 16 dex, 12 con, 16 intelligence, and 12 wisdom, and 10 charisma. That would be a 20-point buy.
Okay. So, okay, hold on. You know, I'll just
Wintermood, this is the kind of optimization you want to hear about because I think he's been double dipping on something he shouldn't have been. He's been more powerful than he should be. I think he's been cheating inadvertently, but still.
Well, I'm gonna check his dice the next crit that he rolls.
Now, I don't know, like, I'm not passing any judgment on that stat array, though I would definitely do it differently. But that seems to be a thing that would work for a 20-point buy given the stats you've written. The problem is that I'm then trying to convert that to what you're at right now, and I'm not able to do so. Because if you put 2 points in intelligence to have that at 18 at level 9, then how is your dexterity at 17?
hold on just a sec here.
And you have a scarlet and blue ion stone, apparently, which is really bad because you're paying twice as much as you would for a headband, and it doesn't stack with your headband.
Don't forget, he does have that Dreamlands headband of vast intelligence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't stack with the headband. So if he might have been double dipping on that this whole time. But his baseline stats don't even make sense. That they don't even literally logically work from what he was presumably starting at as level 1. So I'm hoping you can try to figure it out about what's going on here.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and do whatever. I'm trying to rebuild my stats. I'll figure this out. Give me just a sec.
Oh, we're good. We can take a minute.
So you have. So what is the one miscellaneous from then? If that's the only ion stone you have, that's scarlet and blue.
So, hold
Oh god, that scared the shit out of me.
on. Sorry about that.
Uh,
So I think these were my first level before anything. Just the 20-point buy. Then I got 2 points.
Oh god, are you saying you raised your constitution?
No, let me finish. So then now I'm an elf. So the elf gave me a 2 in dexterity, 2 intelligence, and a -2 in my constitution. So that made my scores
1.
like that. So that was first level as an elf with a 20-point buy. Then level 4 and at level 8, I had a point to spend twice. So I added 1 to Constitution. Actually, I haven't done the other one because then I have a +2 because of the Ion Stone on my intelligence. So with just the Ion Stone,
So if you spent the level 4 on con, then at
So-
level 8 you didn't spend it on anything, and then you have +2 int from the Ion Stone.
right, so I'm actually missing 1 point. Because the 12 I got in my Constitution I got from level 4, but at level 8, I should have had 1 more point that I haven't added in yet. Sound right?
Yes, I believe so. But that
So-
also means that your headband does not give 6 int, it only gives 4. And you only get 2 extra skills, not 3, because you already have a skill from your other Ion Stone.
Okay. So at 9th level, what do I get? I get 2 plus my intelligence bonus, right?
For what?
For the skill points I get per level.
4 plus int modifier.
4 plus my
So
intelligence
you would
modifier.
have at this point 7 times 28 baseline. So you'd have 7. So you'd have 7 per level, times 9 for 63 points. Then your Ion Stone would give you another 9 points, and then your headband, or rather, it wouldn't necessarily give you 9 points. It would maximize a skill, which may be less than 9 points, which is a whole discussion we had earlier. Remember when we were like, you don't actually get the full bonus to sense
Right.
motive or knowledge candy, you just get them maximized.
Okay, so currently I've spent 63 points. I haven't reflected the Ion Stone in there, just the 63.
Okay.
But first, so I'm going to change my dexterity to 18.
Okay.
So now my armor class is 19. Good. And then my skills, basically what you're saying is I should have another 9 skill points because of the Ion Stone.
I'm saying that you should have another skill. Not necessarily 9 skill points, an entire other skill, which could be maximizing the current one, right? So basically you can pick, you have 63 points spent. Then you say, I'm going to pick a skill that goes with my Ion Stone, and that is now full ranks. So if you had 8 out of 9
Okay.
ranks prior, you only gain 1 rank. If you had 0 out of 9 ranks, you gain 9 ranks, right? It depends upon that. Then your headband only goes down to 4 skill, 4 int, and you only pick 2 out of sense motive, knowledge, arcana, and stealth to get to max ranks in.
Okay, but the headband is only when I'm in the Dreamlands.
Yes,
Okay,
but
But-
it does not stack with the Ion Stone.
right. But for these purposes, I need to maximize one of my skills.
The Ion Stone, yes. I mean, technically you could do it. The main catch with doing it as a... Well, I guess you could just write down that you get a +12 bonus as an effect from the Ion Stone if you really want. It technically doesn't matter which way you do it. But it's just important to keep notes on this stuff so you can remind yourself which is doing what. When we
I
get
think-
to problems like this.
Yeah. I think it'd be easier just to use the miscellaneous column to keep track of which
Well,
which
the
skill.
problem with the miscellaneous column is it doesn't trigger the trained part. So, like, you get a
Oh, right.
+3 bonus if it's trained, right? And it's a class skill. So you'd have to manually adjust it up to 12 if it's a class skill and only if it's a class skill.
Right.
And then you have to remember, don't actually put ranks in it because that would then stack and it's not supposed to.
Right. Okay, anyway, so back to the very original discussion. My armor class is 19, based on what I currently
Okay,
have.
so you have 4 from Dex, 4 from the armor. You still have a miscellaneous of 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure where
What
that's
is that
coming
coming
from.
from? What are your feats?
Hold on just a sec here. Extra bombs, point blank shot, precise shot, rapid shot, splash, weapon mastery, throw anything, brew potion.
So nothing that
So
affects your
nothing
AC.
there.
Okay.
Let me check my inventory, see if we got something, see if we got a ring. Cloak of Elvenkind. I don't see anything in there either. I don't know where it's coming from. Back.
Okay, so probably take it off then if you can't think of anything. So you do not have magic armor, you do not have a ring of ring of protection, and you do not have an amulet of natural armor at level 9. Is that all correct? You still have mundane armor and no ring or amulet?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think, I mean, the Mithril shirt is not listed as +1. I don't think I modified that.
What's your
So-
+1, sorry?
I'm saying I don't have, I have a composite longbow +1, which does me no good. No, I don't have I do not have a magic item that's adding to my armor class that I can see. Anyway,
Okay, so when you drink your mutagen, you gain 2 more AC from Dex, 2 more from natural armor, effectively. Right? So that
Right.
brings you up to 22 AC, correct? Then
Right.
shield would bring you up to 26, and barkskin would bring you up to 30. So you can still self-buff yourself up to 30 AC with everything, which is higher than me by 5 without any of my, unless you give me some of your stuff, and I think it might even be higher than Poppy. Technically, if you fully buff, I think you have the highest AC of any of us possible right now, due to shield and barkskin and the mutagen.
So I don't currently have barkskin in my extracts. I can get that.
What are your level 2 extracts?
Invisibility, lesser restoration, summon nature's ally, and vomit swarm. So all I'll have to do is next time I can take an extract, I can get that. I think there's a thing at some level where you can swap out extracts.
I'm just saying, like, Vomit Swarm is not something that helps multiple times a day. Lesser Restoration only affects us if we get drained. Invisibility isn't needed multiple times a day usually, or it's more rarely needed. And I forget what the last one was, Summon Nature's Ally. So...
that one is just part of...
Yeah, I'm just saying,
again.
part of your problem is you basically don't have a single level 2 spell that's helpful at all. Like Barkskin or Bear's Endurance or Cat's Grace or Bull's Strength or False Life, or there's other stuff you can come up with here, but like all of these would be very handy for not only just you but also Poppy and or myself, right? They'd be very good group buffs, especially since you spent the feat to be able to give it to us. But since you can't provide any of that, and you don't have see invisibility first. Hell, you can give Poppy see invisibility. I can't. I can cast see invisibility on myself. You actually are the only one you can give see invisibility to other people in the game. I think that is actually fucking huge, but you can't do that. What are your level 3 spells?
Level 3, I've got Displacement, Fly, Gaseous Form, and Summon Nature's Ally 3.
Displacement is really, really good. We should be getting multiples of those. Like, you give that to Poppy, Poppy gets to ignore half of the attacks of a lot of enemies.
Right. What about Enlarged Person? Would Poppy need Enlarged Person?
Here's the thing, Enlarged Person, one of the main reasons to get it is it allows you to get 10-foot reach instead of 5-foot reach.
Right.
But Poppy Enlarging only takes Poppy to medium size, so it doesn't affect Poppy's reach at all.
So it doesn't do him any good. Well, keep in
It's not
mind that
very
back
good.
when I chose Enlarged Person, we had other fighters. We had Leo. You know, the cupboard's kind of bare on characters right now.
I mean, even then, in a lot of cases, it's still kind of iffy because you're giving up 2 AC in exchange for doing like 2 more damage a hit. So if you're getting focused by a lot of enemies, right, being larger is usually a downside unless you can provoke a lot of attacks opportunities and take advantage of them with the reach. And if it's something like a giant which doesn't have the reach problem or something, right, then
Right.
I'm back.
welcome back. So you don't have like protection from energy or remove curse or remove disease or remove blindness, deafness or anything like that either. Or
No.
heroism.
One of the limitations of the alchemist I'm finding is that they don't get very many spells. I mean, I'm 9th level and I still,
You should have like 10 spells total, right?
Oh yeah, I've got it.
But why haven't you been learning spells, like buying scrolls and learning them, or finding wizards for spell books? Like,
Well, we spent the last 6 months in the Dreamlands. There hasn't really been a.
not the last 6 months. We left at level 6 or 7 from on our journey, so you could have learned a lot of level 1 or 2s prior to that. I think the next time we're in a town which has stuff, you may want to consider buying some scrolls so you can learn shit from them.
Yeah.
But I would make sure you have multiple displacement potions, because that's going to be really, really important for Poppy. That's like the biggest thing you can do. If you can just stop Poppy from getting hit as much, then we can literally sit back and just watch.
Yeah. Anyway, so for now though, so I'll take blurred movement and shield at 1st level. 2nd level, I'll take the invisibility.
I wouldn't get blurred movement at all. It's really bad. I'd get multiple shields, and that way you can pass it out to myself and or Poppy as well, or just use it multiple times per day for you, because we often will have multiple fights.
Okay. Second level, I just took invisibility. The other 3 are apparently kind of useless.
I mean, Lesser Restoration's good to be able to make, but it doesn't really help us in most cases, like, in the heat of the moment.
Well,
the Lesser Restoration, you can actually make it a potion that just takes it to drink. That's actually really good, because it only takes 3 rounds to cast, so...
I can do the same thing with shield though, right? So I can start turning some of this stuff into potion.
You can't make a potion of shield. You
Well,
can make an extract of it.
I can make an extract that I can hand to one of you guys.
Yeah. And that's why what is your feat that you get for that?
The feat for making potions?
Extracts to other people.
Oh, that's what's it called? Funky. Is it infusion? Yeah, it's infusion.
It's not a feat, it's a discovery.
It's a discovery, yeah. Yeah, it's not a feat. Discovery.
I'm going to set you up a YouTube channel and we can do character optimization with Eric Kell.
Right. Well, yeah, I'll be the first to admit, I am not that savvy at optimizing characters.
Hey, I'm a Hero Lab user, right there with you.
Yeah, I do rely on Hero Lab.
And here's the thing, people who are actually optimizing stuff and using the books and rates, it's like they'd be laughing at us for being so primitive right now. This is just basic how not to suck. So...
Well,
like using displacement and such would be huge for Poppy, and if you need to just keep taking like more bombs per day feats or whatever to make you happy, then go for it. But You saw what happened when we actually hit a tough enemy and you were like had no bombs left and we got wrecked. Which is doubly bad given how Wintermute is maximizing the hit points, right? Which means your bombs individually basically go less far. So if enemies have, let's say, 50% more hit points, you effectively have, 33% less bombs total because it takes more bombs to actually bring down an enemy. You see what I mean? So you really
yeah.
have to make sure they're there for the times when we actually need to burst.
Would you prefer that I lie to you and tell you I put them on random hit points?
No.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's complaining that you put them on full hit points. I think
We're
it's
just pointing out the impact it makes on like a limited use damaging abilities, right? An ability
Yes.
that says you do, a massive amount of damage once per day to one enemy may sound great if that can one-shot an enemy, but if it only takes away, 60% of their hit points because of maximized hit points, and that's all you get from it, that might not be so great. You see what I mean? It just changes. And remember, Wintermute, I run maximized hit points in my campaign, though I don't maximize hit points from monsters. I give them plus 50%. Because monsters, if you do maximized hit points, sometimes you can get situations where monsters that are supposed... Like, you can get a situation where CR7, who has more hit points normally than a CR6, right? But if you maximize it, the CR6 actually can wind up with more. Because if the CR7 has a high con modifier, and the CR6 has like big dice, that can happen, right?
Right.
Let's say the CR6 is like 6d12, right? And the level 7 is like, 7d6 plus 15 from con, right? Well, if you maximize it, the person with the d12s gets a lot more benefits. So you can actually have situations with the monsters which are supposed to have less HP than other monsters actually get more HP when you maximize it. Hence why I just said let's just do 50%. That way the ratio stays correct. But that means you actually have to manually adjust every single monster. You can't just do the handy fantasy grounds option. So I'm not judging or complaining. I'm just noting.
Okay.
And now I'm going back to sleep. Good night.
Just out of curiosity, what was your favorite subject in school?
History. I was thinking of being a lawyer for a while until I went into computer programming halfway through college. I'm actually a person who enjoys talking about religion and politics.
I couldn't tell. So anyway, do y'all want to travel downstream for a few days? Do you want to see if your optimizations have paid off?
I think paid off is a bit of an overstatement. Me, I'm just being near catatonic in my bunk unless somebody tries to rouse me from it. So good night. Up to you guys.
Well, I don't have a problem with taking another swing at the dragon monster.
Yeah, you're already halfway there to a major madness. What do you say, Sith?
I think he's still optimizing.
Hey, there's my prison map.
So what do we decide?
We're waiting on you to cast the final vote. Poppy doesn't mind dying again. How about you?
Well, if I got all my bombs, then yeah, I guess. I mean, like I said, I've got some shield spells now uh, that I can give to Poppy and Eric. Like playing WoW, right? You just come back with all your shit 10% less.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you all an overnight rest just to make sure that you have one. And let's see, you are no longer flying. Point blank shot, you'll probably use.
I will put my extract back on. See, that doesn't reflect in my armor class, but it'll reflect when something tries to hit me. Is that right?
On your
What the what
mutagen?
now?
Yes. It doesn't reflect on your character sheet, but it does
Okay,
get
that's what I
taken
thought.
into account.
That's what I thought.
Okay, you do know you have to wake Eric up in order to do the ritual.
So
Just going without me, guys.
Get up.
What?
Okay, you all are sitting around again, and you
Can't
start.
we, like, just wait a bit, like, a month or a year?
No. I'd threaten to bust your kneecaps, but I don't think you'd give a shit.
I guess that's the violence only work on somebody who cares.
That's one way to look at it.
Poppy tries to, like, roll me along the floor to get me into the ritual area or something. Drags me out of the bed.
This is the way we roll the bard, roll the bard, roll the bard.
Fine, fine. Oh, bastards.
Okay, you all start doing the ritual, and uh, you know, Eric's just not that into it this time. And, you know, I don't want to say he's doing it half-assed because, you know,
Like,
regardless,
well, like quarter-assed?
you are a professional, but your heart's not really into it. And, you know, it's not like you know an exact code word to get you back to the lunar prison. So,
I'm gonna accidentally drop my hammer on his foot when we get back there. Then he'll care.
the toe breaker. And finally, it comes back around to you, Eric, again, and you just say, you know, the prison on the moon, and you throw the stairs down, and the portal opens, and there's the stairs, and you all descend down, and you come out. uh, let's see. You appear inside this room, and you see three long tables of a strange dark wood, and they have matching benches, and you can figure out that, this is probably uh, the mess hall. And you can see that, the tables and the benches are scarred from years of use. And there's Sith, Eric. And give me just a second and I'll share the map with you.
I was gonna say, I'm looking at the old map going, what am I missing?
Same map, just a different part. So, anyway, you see that, hey, this is the dining hall. You got a set of double doors to your west, and you got one to the north.
Whoa, hey, man, I was really tired. Am I able to, I realize you generally shouldn't be a doctor diagnosing yourself, but am I able to try to figure out what might be wrong with me? Or what might be going on?
You are at least aware enough to know that you only feel normal when you're here in the dreamlands. That, when you're back in the real world, um, I would say you would probably have to do just a little bit of research to pinpoint it.
It sounds like way too much effort at the real world.
But you do have a clue that, you're not crazy, but, you are left of center. And Poppy's got all of her memory back, and
So she starts off by slamming her mason to the ground next to me in frustration. Clearly, trying to hit the ground, not trying to hit me and missing.
Yep.
So, Poppy, are you actually using the Earthbreaker or using the Lion Shield and the +4 Bastard Sword thing?
I'm using the Lion Shield and whatever else.
Okay, you have and that's like 4 AC already, right? So shield doesn't do anything for you?
Yes.
Okay.
so, what do you want to do?
I don't know. Lead the way, yo, Commander Comatose.
Hey, that was, let's just move forward and not worry about the past, right? And I give Poppy a little wink.
Hey, I got one quick question on giving extracts to other people. So it's not like a potion where I can give it to them now and they carry it, right? It's something I've got to do. Like I make the extract, hand it to them, then they take it. So it takes, is that a full round action or a standard action to do that, or?
I mean, it sounds like you literally set it down and then we drink it as a standard action. So I presume if it's in our bags, we still have to actually draw the potion.
Right, but I mean, there's that difference in extracts, but brew potion. So that's what I was kind of wondering. I don't know how to. If it was like a potion, I would hand them out now before we go anywhere. And then you
It's
guys
like
just
a
carry on
potion.
with it. So, I guess, do we just assume that that they have the potion, and then during combat or whatever, I would just apply the effect to them, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, we can do that. Just assume that they have them.
Okay, I mean, otherwise it's, I'm having to chase them around and hand it to them, and I don't think that'd be very beneficial.
Okay, so I mean, we can write this down in the notes. Who has what right now?
So I've got 6 shield spells. Who wants them?
Poppy does not get any benefit from them. I technically only get +2, but if you have 6 of them, I mean, I can take 2 and you can keep 4.
Okay. So I'm going to mark off. Oh, so at that time, we'll just have to remember that you have 2 of them.
I would just mark off 2. I'm making a note down that I have 2 right now. So I
Okay,
would
so I'm
mark
going
off,
to mark off 2.
because you can just make the other 4s as a standard action. It actually will take me a move action to draw it and a standard action to drink it, so it's actually better for you to not make them for yourself if you don't have to. Because you can do that as a standard action. It takes longer for everyone else.
Right. And then I have 4 invisibility. If anybody wants any of those. And then I have 3 displacement and a fly.
Sounds like I could take a displacement.
Okay, so I'm going to mark it off, and then you can.
You could
Screw.
basically give him. I mean, how many displacements do you have?
I have 3.
So I would give 2 to Poppy and probably 1 to myself, I'm guessing. Though, actually, I'd give 1 to Poppy, 1 to myself, and 1 for you, because if we wind up fighting the dragon, you having displacement on yourself might be necessary.
Okay, so I marked off 2, 1 for each of you, and you'll keep track of them. Okay. And I'll keep the fly, so that if I have to, I can fly up and drop bombs.
Oh,
Alright.
hang
There
on,
you go.
I'm trying to figure this out for a second. I'm trying to figure what this means, Wintermute. Here's what it is if the alchemist is doing it. So if an alchemist says, I want to make an extract, then he can grab some components, slosh it together in his hands and drink it all in a standard action. So if he gives it to someone else, what happens? That doesn't seem to have any rules on it.
Well, it's got to be like a potion.
That's what I would assume. But strictly, basically, for you,
Yeah.
it's better than a potion. For other people, I'm guessing it's like a potion, but it doesn't seem to actually say.
Yeah, let's treat it like a potion.
Alrighty. Here's something interesting. Though it says, in order to be made into a potion or a spell, or a potion or oil, a spell must meet the following criteria. It must be spell of 3rd level or lower. Does that? But I can turn my 4th level extracts. I can give them out. So are they like 4th level potions?
Yeah, there's nothing. Remember, it only acts like a potion in some ways, and it violates the potion rules in other. That's why it's not so clear. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
like you can drink it faster than a potion. You can make it of things that normally a potion can't be made. You can make it more powerful than other potions could be, right? Like, it breaks the potion rules in a number of ways. Hence why I'm unsure exactly how this would work.
Yeah, I guess I would be able to apply metamagic beats to them, to the extract. That's interesting. Okay. Anyway. All right. Back to the cafeteria.
How do I set up an effect for displacement?
TCONC.
TCONC.
Yep. That gives you total
Looks like
concealment.
Though ideally, Sith should be able to just do it and then apply it to us when it's time. That way it's the appropriate duration as well.
Yeah, I've got it set up. I just have to change it from self to target. I would have to target you and put the effect on you.
Yeah,
And displacement lasts 9 rounds. Well, my caster level.
Well,
in
displacement isn't personal in the first place. You can always cast it on other people, so I don't know why yours would be targeting self.
Well, yeah, I just.
because it's an
I had-
extract.
I just, yeah, it was as an extract, it would only target me, but I just hadn't changed it to target. Anyway, whatever. I can target you.
Okay, well, if I try to listen up here, do I hear anything?
No, you are not hearing anything come from the north.
So, all we know is that we reappeared in this place that is at some tables. There's no windows, so we can't see. All we can literally see is there's 2 doors and the tables in here. Anything in particularly interesting about the tables? Or what's in here?
They're scarred and so forth. Now, the walls and so forth does have the same feel of the prison. So you're pretty confident that you have reappeared somewhere in the prison.
I'd like to do a knowledge engineering check. Looks like with a DC 20, I can determine the depth underground. So I get a 34. Do I know how far below ground we are?
Yes, you know that you are on a structure that was built on top of the ground.
Excellent, okay. So we're not like in the, third sub-basement, Vault 4.
Correct.
Okay, well, I already cast a bunch of spells on people. Now that I'm back to my, former good spirits. And, I'll suggest that, Poppy lead the way to the next room.
Yeah, I did something that I did not mean to do. Now I have to fix a bunch of shit.
Okay, you walk into a kitchen containing several stone tables, a large oven. You see these thick mixing pots. There's tools to prepare, the simple food for dozens of people. Um,
Hey guys, with a 33, I think this might be a kitchen.
and it's not that clean, and there's odd stains and a rotting smell coming from the room.
Besides the fact that looks like it's a prison on the moon and kitchen, is there anything that seems to be out of place? Is there any clue in the food that we see that would suggest what kind of beings are generally here or are running it? Any exotic foods we notice?
No. You do know that you see some cutting knives and so forth, and they're all very thick and very blunt. Up here in this corner of the room, there is a set of iron bars that, let's see.
Hey, is it possible to undo changes made to a character sheet?
Nope.
Unfortunately, not that I know of. Well, technically, it bad enough that it's worth Wintermute trying to revert to the database from the end of last session, which would undo everything that's happened since then? I might be able to do that, but
Well,
that's
except
kind
that
of
that would
extreme
undo
case.
everything you just fixed for.
Yep. If he did that, anything that's happened since the end of last session would be undone. So unless your situation is really bad.
How bad is it?
Nah, I just accidentally deleted the spell-like effect things that I had set up for Poppy, so like power attack and everything.
Um, Hold on just a second. Let me see what I can do about that. And this is Strange Aeons. What games? Um, I would have to exit, but I can pull down your character. I can export your character from the last game session.
As long as it doesn't fuck anything else up, I guess that would be fine.
Yeah, so let me save where we're at, and we'll take 10.
The world is ending.
Okay. So we're all going to get booted from the game?
Yes.
Well, I guess this is a good opportunity to go make dinner then.
Yes, it would be. See you in a minute.